Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. My name is Craig Fissinger. There's Ken Francis. TK and Heavy D are back in the sound. We're going to be talking to them in just a little bit. And Ken, tonight's show is special for a lot of reasons. For starters, it is our last Fish Report Live of the winter sports season. We're going to take a couple weeks off after tonight. But that, and also tonight is our first broadcast ever in high definition. That's kind of exciting. And most importantly, tomorrow night we got a loaded lineup of basketball games that I just can't wait to talk about. How about you?
Absolutely, Craig. Hopefully our viewers notice the high definition out there, Craig, and hopefully we look a little better.
I shaved tonight for this.
Yeah, They probably can tell. Hey, we've got some local teams still battling it out here in March Madness. Basketball season is nothing better than tournament time. We've got the Versailles girls actually playing right now. Marion local boys, Fort Loramie's boys and girls playing both tomorrow. And our Russia Raiders boys team big district championship tomorrow night at UD Arena beginning at 9 o'clock. So couple good interviews tonight as well, Craig. We're going to go up north and talk to Fort Loramie head coach of the Lady Redskins, Carla Siegel. And real interesting interview coming after that, Craig. The second half of our show, we're going to writer for Press Pros magazine, owner Sonny Fulks. So really looking forward to talking to Sonny on our show tonight.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I'm sure we'll get a lot of good stuff from him. But before we get to all that, Ken, just like we do every week, got to get to that weekly trivia question. Now, last week I got your question right with a little help from our Twitter followers. I'm not sure if I'll need their help tonight, but what do you got?
All right, Craig. Well, tomorrow night the Russia Raiders are going to be going for win number 22 on the season, Craig. And what is Russia's all-time record for boys basketball, most wins in a season?
Most wins in a season.
Russia boys basketball.
Any
most
choices?
Nope, no choices.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to have to send that one out on Twitter and see if I can get a little help on that. So I'm sending that out, and hopefully I'll get some answers and try to get that one by the end of the show.
All right.
Well, let's get things started, Ken, talking some girls basketball. Big regional semi game coming up tomorrow night between the Fort Loramie Redskins and the New Knoxville Rangers, two teams that we know very well. It sounds like the winner of that is going to play Fayetteville Perry. I believe they beat Felicity Franklin tonight. And here to talk about that with us tonight will be the head coach of the Fort Loramie Redskins, Carla Siegel. I believe we have her live on the phone right now. Coach, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, Craig. Hi, Ken. How you guys doing?
Good. Coach.
Well, I'm glad we're able to catch you. I know you just came back from that Fayetteville Perry Felicity Franklin game. I believe Fayetteville Perry won that game. And I want to know, I know you're getting ready for this big game tomorrow night with New Knoxville, but you're down here scouting this other game. Now, don't you have assistant coaches to do that kind of thing for you?
Yes, I have wonderful assistant coaches. And as a matter of fact, we were all down there together watching this game. Sometimes, you just get a better feel if you get to watch the team in person. So I like to scout as much as possible, but my assistant coaches have been doing a great job the last 3 weeks, driving all over the state of Ohio, watching teams that we might run up against. So it's a team thing that we like to do.
All right, well, listen, congrats on another district title last Saturday, your 7th in a row, which is really remarkable. Everyone seems to be playing very well for you right now, but you've got a special group of seniors with this bunch. And we talked to a couple of those seniors earlier this year on this show, Darian Rose and Renee Meyer. Now, those girls, Coach, they described your team as kind of a self-motivated group that wants to make the fans proud of them whenever they go on the floor. I want to ask you, is that how you see this team?
I'm very fortunate to have 8 wonderful seniors on this team, and the experience and the leadership that they bring is it's unbeatable. And as what you said about they want to make their fans proud, they do. These girls have a great work ethic. Their team chemistry, their camaraderie is awesome. Self-motivated would be a very good word for them. Absolutely.
Coach, hi, this is Ken Francis. And you've got a big game tomorrow night. You're playing the MAC Power in New Knoxville. Some publications are saying this could be the state championship game. I'm sure you're not viewing it that way. It's a regional semifinal game, but once again, just a big game with New Knoxville tomorrow night. They're coming in. They've won 19 consecutive games. You actually played them back in late November. What did you see back then that you like about this team?
Well, I think Coach Hagemeyer does a phenomenal job with his girls. They are well disciplined on the offensive and defensive end. I think they're patient on their offense, waiting to get the shot that they want, the shot that they need at the time. They're a good fundamental team. I mean, everybody on their team knows exactly. I mean, they understand the game. They know exactly what they're supposed to be doing on offense and defense. They rebound well. He does a wonderful job. And I know that they're limited in their bench play, but with their team depth and stuff. But I tell you what, the girls that are on the floor, they get the job done.
Well, it's a big night in Fort Loramie tomorrow. You've got the boys team actually tipping off in the district championship game at 5:30 at UD Arena. And then your fans will travel to Tip City for an 8 o'clock tip for the regional semifinal game. Any big plans in Loramie School tomorrow?
Well, I know that all week they've had Spirit Week at the high school. I teach at the elementary, so I don't know what's all going on over there, but I hear it's been exciting. I know the town's buzzing. There are signs up, and people are excited. It's just this community loves basketball, and when you have both teams doing successful tournament runs, it's fun. So, yeah, the town is ready. They're excited, and hopefully they'll get to see two good games tomorrow night.
One of your nice young stars you've got for you this year is sophomore Jessica Berger. Jessica is one of the bright stars in the Shelby County League. She was recently named first team All-League. Tell us a little bit about your sophomore.
Yeah, Jess, she's last year as a freshman, she broke into the starting lineup about halfway through the year and had a wonderful tournament run for us. And so this year, she played guard all last year for us, and this year we moved her down to a guard/forward. So she actually plays many positions for us. And I know in the beginning of the year she struggled with that because there's a lot to know. There's one part of the game from the guard spot, but when you're playing a forward, it's a whole other area. And so she struggled in the beginning, but she's finally has come into her own, and she's a girl that she can play, point guard for us, the 2 guard, the 3 guard, the 4. She's a phenomenal athlete. She's a great basketball player. She's got a great sense of the game, good passes, good shooting, rebounds well for us, gets a lot of good block shots. I mean, she's a special player, that's for sure.
Hey, Coach, one more question and we'll let you go. I do want to recognize a remarkable accomplishment this past week, and that's your senior, Darian Rose. She just finished a streak of 41 straight free throws, and she set an SEL record, I think, a while ago, back when she hit maybe 28, something like that. But I'm sure
Correct.
She put her name way up there on the Ohio list. But I know it ended last Saturday during that Bradford game. Now that it's over, I want to talk about it. I know, for example, in baseball, when a guy's throwing a no-hitter, there's kind of a rule. You don't talk to him. But now that it's over, I want to talk about it. I mean, did the girls talk about it at all? Was she stressed out by it at all?
Well, Darian, I tell you what, she's such a phenomenal player, sets goals for herself all the time. And she told me at the beginning of the season that, her school record was 26 and the county record was 27. And she told me that was a record she wanted, was the county record. And so I told her, great, go for it, because she's been in the 20s, probably 2 or 3 times throughout her career. And so I'm not sure what game it was, but she was at 20. So we were in practice one day, and it was just her and I off to the side, and I just said, hey, Darian, I said, at the beginning of the year you told me you want this record. I said, when you get close to it, do you want me to tell you? You want me to keep quiet? I said, how do you want me to handle this? And she's like, if I'm close, Coach, you better tell me. And I said, okay. I said, well, you're at 20 right now. And she said, okay. She's like, what's the record? And I said, well, 27 to tie, 28 to break. Well, at that time, some of the girls started coming over, and they started hearing what was going on, and then it became a big deal. And then Darian looked at me and said, if I miss it tomorrow, it's going to be all your fault. She was joking with me. But she went on and hit, 5 in the next game, and I think she hit probably 8 or 9 games in a row where she didn't miss any. So it is a phenomenal streak. 41 is huge. I looked it up on today. I think she's 6th in the state of Ohio with 41.
Yeah, it's one thing to talk about wanting that record. It's another thing to do it. So that is pretty remarkable.
That's Darian Rose. She wants something, she goes for it.
Well, listen, hey, we're going to let you go, let you prepare some more for that game if you got any more preparing to do. But listen, best of luck tomorrow night, and thanks for joining us on the show tonight, Carla.
Ken and Craig, thank you guys so much for all you do for Shelby County basketball, and I would like to wish all the Shelby County teams good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, that was the head coach of the Fort Loramie Redskins, Carla Siegel. And I want to go back to the sound room, guys. Last Saturday, I want to acknowledge some of the local teams that actually bowed out during the district tournament. And guys, we can start out with Covington. Actually got beat by Fayetteville Perry, a team that's going to be playing Fort Loramie. Guys, they made a nice tourney run. Kind of a young team. There were only one senior, I believe, that's going to be graduating. We might look for them to make a run again next year, shouldn't we?
Yeah, Craig, I think they will. As you said, a nice late run. They did end up the season 13-13, but ended the season kind of on a little bit of a streak, 7-4, including that loss in the tournament to Fayetteville Perry, losing one senior. Unfortunately for Covington, one of their young stars, sophomore Jesse Crowell, went down in that game in the first quarter and never did come back. Haven't heard exactly what the injury was, so hope the best for her and that she can come back. And next year, yeah, it does look bright for them with a nice young crew of good athletes and good basketball players there. The other side of that, another cross-county conference team was Bradford. A bunch of records there for Bradford, 20-6 school record, sectional title, school first. Unfortunately, they've got 5 seniors that they're losing, so it's going to be a battle for them to come back, but Coach McKee has things going in the right way, and he's got his assistant, Coach Biesecker, so they might be down a little bit next year, but I look for them to start to build a solid program over there in Bradford.
And then, guys, the other team we want to talk about is, of course, the home team, the Russia Raiders, and had a lot of fun covering them this year. I know they got 2 seniors on that team. One of them, Camille Putoff, and Camille unfortunately couldn't play this year because of injury. The other senior is, of course, Maggie Kearns, and one of our favorites here at Fish Report Live. Really going to miss her, and I know she was nice enough to do an interview with us on our Fish Report blog before the season started. She also joined us on that preview show at Cruisers to start the season out, so she's definitely going to be missed, but a lot to look forward to there, guys, next year, isn't there?
Yep, hats off to Maggie Kearns, 3-year starter for the Raiders. Finished a nice career at Russia, and she'll go on to do nice things with in college and school. Looking forward to that. And yeah, Camille Putoff, starting point guard for us sophomore year, and a couple bad breaks for her, but another fine young lady. Be graduating this year. We've got again a lot to look forward to. I know the girls didn't want to end it that way against Felicity Franklin. Probably a game they should have won, and I think they know that, and they'll reflect on that in the off season and take another stab at it next year.
All right, and then Ken mentioned at the top of the show one of the other local teams, Versailles, is playing tonight in Division III against Miami East. Any update on a score there?
The last we had was 29-19, Versailles over Miami East at the half.
Okay, so looks like they might be on their way to a win then.
Yeah, they're avenging regular season loss, Craig. Actually,
That's right.
Miami East beat Versailles earlier in the season. So,
all right, that's good stuff there, guys. And that's going to do it for our girls basketball talk. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk some boys basketball, including that big interview with Sonny Fulks. So stay there. We'll be right back.
It's been a year since my baby finally gave up on me. I can't say that I blame her. She just got tired of playing losing games. I should suck on my pride and beg that girl to come back home. Deep down I know she's better off, 'cause fools like me are meant to die alone. Someone give me one good reason, one good reason to smile. I'm trying to be that guy my mother prayed that I would be. Some days I feel like hit the mark, some days I fail hopelessly. I think I'm alright, I just stumble from time to time. Oh, my mother knows I'm trying to be that guy.
All right, welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live, everyone. Before the break, we were talking some girls basketball. Now we're going to change it over to boys basketball. And Ken, at the top of the show, we mentioned a big lineup of games, 3 big boys games at UD Arena tomorrow night, and 3 games that I have an interest in all 3 of them.
Absolutely, Craig. Can't wait till tomorrow night. UD Arena, first game tips at 5:30, Craig. Fort Loramie versus Tri-Village, Craig. Very interesting matchup here. You've got the number 1 team in the CCC, the Tri-Village Patriots. They've been ranked high in the state all year, Craig. They come in with 1 loss, I think 23 wins. So great record, great season for Tri-Village. Fort Loramie, Craig's coming in at 15-10. They finished 4th place in the Shelby County League. So we're going to see a battle here between, a team that has had a great season all year, league champions, 1 loss against Fort Loramie Redskins, who are playing extremely good basketball right now. They kind of had an up and down season in the middle of the year, but they righted the ship. Coach Ratterman's done a great job. So look for Fort Loramie to give Tri-Village all they want tomorrow night. Game number 2, Craig, Troy Christian against Laughlin. Again, you've got Troy Christian coming in, just 1 loss all season, Craig. Laughlin, I think, might have a losing record. But, look for a very good basketball game here. Again, when you look at the schedules that these teams play, Tri-Village, Troy Christian, and you compare their schedules to Fort Loramie and Laughlin, really no comparison. Day in and day out, who has a tougher schedule. So really throw records out this time of year. In the nightcapper, Craig, the game that we're really interested in, our Russia Raiders will be taking on the Cincinnati Aiken Falcons. Russia's coming in with a 21-4 record. Aiken at 14-9. Aiken plays in a very competitive league in Cincinnati, so it's going to be a great basketball game there, Craig. Kind of a contrast of styles. Russia's going to have to try to control the tempo in that one, but look for a great game there at the 9 o'clock tip at UD Arena.
All right. Sounds like a good lineup, like we said. And here to talk about some of those games with us tonight, Ken, have a special guest. He is the creator and a writer for Press Pros Magazine. It's Sonny Fulks. And Sonny, welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, thanks for having me, and it's fun to be with you and then talk a little basketball tonight.
Well, I understand you're at the Miami East for Sales game. Are you there right now?
No, we just left the arena down there. Miami East was actually playing Roger Bacon tonight, got beat by about 20 points. Roger Bacon, of course, out of Cincinnati, very physical, and an experienced team, and just simply too much for Allen Mack's Vikings tonight. But, they did some nice things tonight, just weren't good enough team.
Okay, so you were covering the boys, Miami's boys. We were talking about the Miami's for Sales girls here just a second ago. But
Versailles is up, as I understood, by about 10 or 12 points at halftime.
All right. Well, they're definitely we're pulling for the Versailles Tigers since they're our next door neighbors. But listen, Sonny, we always enjoy reading your articles on Press Pros. They're timely. Sometimes they're witty, and they give the readers a perspective that you won't typically find on a newspaper game recap. And it's not just your stuff, but you also have a talented group of writers that contribute as well. Besides yourself, can you tell the viewers out there who some of your other writers are?
Well, we're very fortunate because we have Hal McCoy, who writes the Reds for us, and Hal and I have been friends for many, many years. And, we got together over a couple of beverages and a pizza one time about 4 years ago and said, hey, let's do this. And let's do something grassroots that really features better stories from favorite writers that people have read for years, like Chick, who writes the Bengals. Chick Ludwig writes the Bengals. Jim Morris writes our Outdoors column. Of course, Hal writes the Reds, and Bruce Hooley writes Ohio State. Greg Horde writes Cincinnati at large. We have 9 different writers who contribute. And then, I enjoy writing a lot of the Shelby County and MAC content in terms of high school sports, GWAC, CBC, the cross-county conference. And, it's been something that we've had a lot of fun with. I know people appreciate reading it. Our readership now is about 40 to 50,000 readers a day. And, we're just having fun with it.
Oh, listen, that's great stuff. The big reason we have you on the show tonight, though, is Thursday night's district final games down at UD Arena. I'm sure you'll be down there. I know you've covered. I know you've covered a lot of those teams. We're not looking for predictions so much from you, rather some of your thoughts on the matchups. So let's start first with that Fort Loramie Tri-Village game. Those are a couple teams, Sonny, that a couple local teams and a couple teams with great traditions. What are you interested in about this game?
Well, I guess the first thing that I would say would be I'll be interested to see which Loramie team shows up. We've seen them 4 or 5 times this year, And this is a team that at 15-10 right now that I thought was outstanding the other night in their win against Houston and Pickwood to win the sectional. They came out and really played offensively with Grant Olberding, who had 23 points in that game, like a team that on any given night they could beat anybody. So, again, they haven't played that way every time out this year, and I know that has been a frustration for Carl Ratterman and a lot of the Loramie fans, but this is a team that right now is like a caged animal. You don't know. If I'm a team preparing for them, you wonder just how good they can be on a given night. And I really think that's the way they're going to come out tomorrow night. I think they're playing with some confidence right now, 15-10 on the year. A couple of kids, when you talk about Craig Fullenkamp, and I know Shelby County League fans are listening to you, know these names. Fullenkamp has played well for them. You got Grant Olberding, the Plyman kid in the pivot, a 6'8" kid. He's a force. And, they're playing well right now. So I would hope that they would come out tomorrow night, play with a little confidence, and maybe remember the way they played against Houston the other night in Pickwood.
Sonny, hi, this is Ken Francis. And first of all, I want to thank you for some of the nice articles you've written on our Russia Raiders this year. Just very, very good articles.
Well, you know something? It's fun to talk about and write about the Russia Raiders, Ken, because it's always fun to go into a community where a certain sport is a passion. And I know basketball has always been a passion there, and Bremmy's been there so long, and he's had so many different types of teams, and that's what makes them interesting. On a given year, he's had all kinds, and he's always been successful with them. Kids have always enjoyed playing, and the fan base there. They're so knowledgeable about basketball. They know what they're seeing. They make the adjustment. They get behind them, and this has been a vintage year.
Let's talk a little bit about the second game on tap at UD Arena. Troy Christian versus Laughlin. A couple weeks ago, you had a nice article about Troy Christian. And, does Troy Christian have what it takes to get back to the state tournament again this year?
Well, the one thing that would really concern me, Ken, about them is the fact that when they lost Christian Salazar last year, that was their post player, 6'5", 6'6" kid, very aggressive, very confident player. He really made them good at both ends of the court. They haven't had that this year until recently when the Farley kid come back and started playing for them. Now, guard play has been exceptional with them because they got three kids with Grant Zawatsky leading that group in their backcourt that can really make life miserable for you. They can get out, they can score in transition, they shoot the ball well. They're a very good free throw shooting team, which is important because they're going to get to the rim. They will attack the rim and make you foul them and put them at the line. So if they get that, and they're going to play good defense like they did the other night against Franklin Monroe, they are somebody that you have to worry a little bit about. You got to respect them. But I'm not sure they're the same team with the same elements or the components that they had last year. Very good team. I'm not sure they have everything they had last year.
Sonny, let's talk about the nightcap. 9 o'clock tip. Our Russia Raiders against Cincinnati Aiken Falcons. Aiken's coming in. I've read some articles. Some people say, hey, this might be one of the best teams in the state. Russia has had a phenomenal year. You've covered the Raiders several times. What is it you like best about Paul Bremingen squad this year?
The thing that I like the most about them is on a given, they're one of the few teams, Ken, that this year, and I've said this publicly on Press Pros, every time that I've seen the Russia Raiders play this year, they have improved from night to night to night. And the thing that I like most about them is they've got three kids that can score. Certainly Nolan Francis, I think you know him pretty well. Gavin Hoying, and here's a name that escapes me, number 2. Help me out with this.
Jordan Garrity.
Jordan Garrity. And Bremy gives him a lot of credit every time I talk to them. When you get a team like Russia that on a given night, every night, one of those three guys is going to score. On an exceptional night, 2 of them are going to score. On an outstanding night, they have had all 3 of those kids contribute and get into double figures. That's a very tough team to beat when they get that type of contribution. The other thing nice about them is, and you know this very well, they get contribution off the bench. They get kids that come in and not only just burn up minutes, they give them contribution. They give them points, they give them defense, they give them rebounds, And again, it's a team that every time I've seen them this year has played better and better and better. I think that's why they're 21-4. They have continually gotten better throughout the season.
All right, Sonny. Hey, listen, I'm going to let you go here. We always enjoy hearing what you have to say. Again, love reading your articles. Hope you keep it up. I look forward to seeing your stuff after this weekend's games. And we do want to thank you for sharing your insights tonight on the show.
Well, you guys are very kind to invite me on. It's always fun to talk about Shelby County League basketball, and we wish all those teams the best tomorrow night.
Sonny, thanks again. We really appreciate all your great coverage of high school sports, especially, the Shelby County League and the teams around here. So good luck to you and in your Press Pros magazine, and hopefully we see you tomorrow night.
All right, guys. Thanks for the time.
Yep.
All right, that was Press Pro Sonny Fulks, Ken, and definitely a lot of fun to talk to him. Like I said, he writes good stuff and good interview too.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, well, listen, that's about going to do it for us tonight. Do have one thing to get to, and that is that trivia question you asked me at the beginning of the night. Why don't you tell me it again, and I'm going to check for answers on Twitter.
Hopefully you got some help, Craig. I didn't give you any options tonight. The Russia Raiders are going after win number 22 tomorrow night. What is the school record for most wins in a season for a Russia boys basketball team?
All right. Well, I do have a guess here, and the guy's name is KB, goes by KB. He tells me 24-4 in 2002, I think. So if he thinks it, I guess I think it too. I'm going to go with 24 wins as their all-time record.
You're absolutely right, Craig. 24 wins. That was the year Russia Raiders made it all the way to the state championship game in Columbus. So.
All right. Well, they have a chance to break that this year, I guess.
Absolutely.
Have to keep rolling, though. So, all right, listen, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I do want to say special thanks to Fort Loramie coach Carla Siegel for coming on the show, as well as Sonny Fulks, who you just heard from. Thanks to the viewers out there for tuning in as well. Like we said at the top of the show, Ken and I and the crew, we're all going to take a break here for a couple weeks. Hope to be back, though, on March 26th and talking some spring sports, so can't wait for that. But until then, enjoy the rest of the basketball season, and good night, everyone.